Denis and Kacper here from Submission Radio after the UFC 202 weigh-in. It's craziness here. We want to just discuss it, get through it to you guys, the atmosphere, the fans. It's all going very wild. And we have a very special guest here with us, Dollery from the 42.ie. A man who knows very well about the Irish crowd. So I want to kick it off with you. Me and Kacper, this is the first event that we've covered where we've dealt with the Irish crowd. It's been absolutely crazy so far. We're going to talk about our experiences, but explain to us, is this normal? Is this what it's always like, or is this a special occurrence?
Yeah, this is pretty normal. I mean, it's actually in smaller numbers compared to the Aldo and the Mendes fights last year. What you've got here, as you can see in the background, is a lot of kind of, Irish people kind of age between 19, 24, 25. A lot of them are out here in California for the summer on J1 visas. They come out and they work for the summer, and they haven't had the same number of people coming over from Ireland as the previous fights, but you get these people coming in on the J1 visas, and it's been quiet here all week. We were wondering if it was going to be much support from McGregor, but they've kind of come out of the woodwork all of a sudden today for the weigh-in. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty manic for tomorrow night.
Well, they're very, very loud, and me and Kacper were right in the eye of the storm today, going right through there, trying to check it out, talking to some of the people. But it was an interesting situation. A lot of McGregor fans, and then one or two Diaz fans come along with a T-shirt, go right up to the big group, which is over there, represents Nate Diaz.
McGregor, yes! McGregor! Come on it, the fuck!
And you guys can see what we're dealing with, and basically gives them the middle finger, takes on a whole group of dudes. We were there, Cass, your recount of the crazy experience that it was.
I got to be honest, I give a lot of these people credit, both McGregor fans and Diaz fans. It seemed like a stage set for a lot of fights. I mean, I've been to footy events and other sporting events, contests where there's been a lot more fights, and I feel like there's a lot more passion here. The Diaz fans, the McGregor fans, they're not on the fence. It's like Nate Diaz says, kill or be killed, and that's really the mentality that everybody has here. And there's been a few picturesque moments where you can see in the background, you've got all the Conor McGregor fans, all the Irish, and then a few Diaz fans run up and they wave their California flags, they wave their Diaz represent shirts, and it's almost like something out of Braveheart or 300, where you've got, they're outnumbered, but they're still willing to war. It's absolutely amazing. It's like the second coming of Jesus Christ.
It's absolutely loud over here. I'm just trying to think about what's going on in my mind. But Paul, some people sort of criticizing the setup here, saying it should have been at the MGM Grand, there's chairs here. And although those sort of bolted together, people are saying that people could have thrown chairs. Things could have gotten out of control really easily. People can run up to any part of this place. Security wasn't great. A lot of sort of elderly ushers here, not really cops sort of helping people around. Your thoughts on the setup, and are people sort of making a big deal out of this, or could have something bad actually happened with this kind of setup and these kinds of fans together?
It would have surprised me, to be honest, with the Irish fans. I mean, I know looking at them now, it looks quite boisterous and it looks like it could spill over at any point, but they're never renowned for being violent. They like to come along, have a few drinks, have a sing-song, and that's pretty much as far as it goes. I mean, it would really surprise me if anything had kicked off in any major way. I mean, it looked like there might have been one or two little minor scuffles earlier on, but nothing major at all. The Irish fans, they want to come in, have a good time, and a good time to them doesn't involve throwing chairs or getting in fights, So I've seen them for the Mendes fights. I was here for the Aldo fight as well, and there was never any danger of that happening. You'll always have one or two exceptions with a few idiots, but I think, on the par and in general, they're not really the kind of the violent type,
And compared to all the other events, where do you rank this one with fan participation and turnout? Are the other ones crazy, or are we looking at one that maybe is better than the previous McGregor event?
No, this one's definitely quieter. The numbers that were here for the Aldo fight and the Mendes fight certainly aren't here. There's a lot of reasons for that, because a lot of Irish sports fans would have been in France in the summer for the European Championships, would have spent a lot of money there. You got to remember, this is McGregor's fourth fight in Vegas in 13 months. That's a lot of money to be spending. And I guess the fact that he's coming off a loss as well, for a lot of people, maybe that it's kind of taken away a bit of the allure of McGregor. And it's just at a difficult time of year. The Olympics are on as well. A lot of factors have combined to make it difficult for Irish fans to be here. But all things considered, I think this is a pretty good turnout, and McGregor will probably be quite happy with that, Well,
let's quickly talk about the fight, because it's going to be a big one here on Saturday. A lot of people are looking forward to this rematch. Kacper, really quick, what do you think about this fight? Who are you picking in it? In your mind, how does it sort of go?
All right, so we spoke about this recently, about how it's been a little bit of a flat build-up. It's gone from 0 to 100 literally in the last few days, like Dave Meltzer says. I see McGregor almost unhinged. He's been very calm recently in his past fights. Here, he looks like he's, I don't want to say out of control, and I'm not saying it's going to necessarily affect the fight, but I think he's feeling it. I think he's just tall mountain to climb for him, and I think he knows that. I am picking Nate Diaz. I was wrong last time. I thought McGregor, there was basically no way that he could lose, and now I'm finding it hard to sort of find a way for him to win. I think that even if he does have success in the first, second, third, even fourth rounds, I don't know that he can stave off Nate Diaz for that long. I think sooner or later, Nate Diaz, he gets better as the fight goes on. He will find his range. The jab will be out there, and I think it'll be a similar outcome. Probably it'll take longer, maybe third, fourth round, but I think eventually the cardio will kick in, and Nate Diaz will take the fight, and it will be a finish. That's my opinion.
Well, my prediction is that Nate Diaz is going to win this one in the fourth round. I think he's got all the tools to do it. I believe he's got the reach, he's got the cardio, he's got the weapons, he's got the ground game. And even though McGregor's going to be in better shape and will have a much better game plan going in here, he won't be coming in to try and knock him out. Paul, he's going to come in with a smarter game plan, leg kicks, distancing, but he doesn't have the strike volume to really put Diaz away. I think eventually by the fourth and fifth, he will wear out. I think Diaz will put him away in the fourth. Want to get your prediction real quick. Is this going to be an upset? Is this going to be a McGregor victory leading to possibly a trilogy? Or is it going to be more of the same for Nate Diaz?
Yeah, I think as everybody's been saying, McGregor has said he's not going to change his strategy, but I think that's mind games. I think he's going to have to be a lot more patient. He's not going to go in, it's going to be slow and steady, wins the race from his point of view, but I just think Nate Diaz has more avenues to win the fight. If it goes the distance, he's capable of winning over 5 rounds. If it goes to the ground for any long extended period of time, there's only going to be one winner there, and I think he's just got more power as well, to the knockout power in a firefight, which I think is what it's probably going to be. I think McGregor knows how to win the fight. He can win the fight. He's got to go that patient route. But I just see it going Diaz's way, maybe in the third round, towards the end of the third round submission, I think.
I just have to add to that. 2016 has very much been the year of the upset. On paper, Michael Bisping was not supposed to win the title. On paper, I think Robbie Lawler was supposed to beat Tyron Woodley. There's been a lot of fights that have been upsets. Misha Tate theoretically was supposed to beat Amanda. The list goes on and on. That's one of the other reasons why this fight is so intriguing. Nothing would surprise me.
Nothing would surprise us. UFC 202 this Saturday is going to go down. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Guys, check out Paul's amazing work on the 42.ie. There's some great articles. Make sure to check him out on Twitter and jump on the YouTube page, youtube.com/Submission Radio AU. There's going to be a bunch of content coming out. It's crazy here. We're going to have to go. These guys are going to drown us out. We'll catch you guys back on the YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in.